kept seeing a car go into the water. All day they've been showing me reruns in my mind of Adventures with Purpose. BP's gonna find her in the Prosser Lake.
We have found Kylie Rodney's vehicle. Again, our search for Kylie at Prosser Creek Reservoir on August 21st at 10.
There are plenty of questions and very few answers after 4 students at the University of Idaho were found murdered in their off-campus house.
It's like if you look at Ted Bundy's eyes and you look at his eyes, they're the same. Maybe a little bit lighter. The one thing that I keep seeing is curls. So I don't know if he has curly hair or wavy hair, and that might be when it's grown out. I think he elongated, like his face might be a little bit longer. There's a reference to a pointier type nose. He honestly looks a lot like Ted Bundy, but like a jacked up Ted Bundy. Like not as handsome. Seriously, that's what I heard, like a jacked up Ted Bundy. Why am I hearing the word campus security? I keep getting like a security guard or a badge. I don't really, and that could be in his past as well. That might not mean that he just does it right now. And names can be, like I said, interconnects can happen, so they might not even fit this case, or they can be connections to someone. I keep getting like a Brian or something like that. It's because they are going to catch him. Because I'm seeing him in an orange jumpsuit.
Good.
So that tells me that he wasn't as smart as he thought he was. And he's probably going to go to jail for this eventually. I keep getting December.
8-year-old Brian Koberger. He was arrested Friday in Pennsylvania.
Also get the name Richard again.
I also get the name Rick. Damn name Allen is coming in again.
Jailed 50-year-old Richard Allen in connection with the double murder. Teen best friends Libby German and Abby Williams went hiking on a trail and never came home.
Done on November 20th, 2019 at 7:14 p.m. Q and O. I don't know, I hear something like Quentin or Quinton. I've heard that. I'm not sure if it fits here at all, but I'm seeing trash and I'm not sure, but I've gotten it a lot, so it fits someone.
9:42 Wednesday morning. Quentin Simon's mom told 911 her little boy was gone.
I do keep hearing a trash truck though. And I keep hearing the trash truck. It's almost like the trash truck is around the same time that he left. That's one thing I can't get rid of is the twisting of the trash bag. And so then I'm like, well, is he in the trash?
Okay.
Unfortunately, I hate to say that. I do hear landfill. Could be that's where maybe the cops think that he is. Like he's in a trash bag, but...
Well, new tonight, a heartbreaking search underway in Georgia for a missing toddler. Police are sifting through trash at a landfill for the remains of 20-month-old Quentin Simon.
If he's still alive, which honestly earlier I felt he was, and I felt like he was going to be found. That was earlier in the day.
A 3-year-old boy found alive and in good health.
For some reason, I do want to go out the back of the house though. But like to the wooded area, but I don't.
He was last seen on Friday playing with his dad in their backyard.
And I said like within 3 miles by a log. I'm not seeing him being hurt, and I'm not seeing someone coming up and getting him.
And I said, "Were you alone?" Yes.
The main 2 things I keep getting is the wooded area and the shed.
Well, to take cover in that shed, and I truly.
My kid. I would want somebody to come help.
We are live as law enforcement and volunteers search late into the night to find.
I see him running to the woods. Like Cam, like, is this an abduction or did he run off? Because then they give me the Riker thing. No, I keep getting the repeated image of him running to the woods.
It's like right in their backyard.
Okay. So maybe he decided he wanted to go play and then he kind of got lost in the woods. Okay. He's got to be within 2 miles. I keep getting that 2 miles. So like I keep getting reference to the edge of the woods. And so he's still alive because I'm not using him to get this information.
Right.
Around in the woods like I can't find my way out. I'm stuck. And I said he's in a bush.
Okay.
And we were like,
Yeah.
what the heck? What do you mean he's in a bush? I said, he's in a bush, and there's searchers around him, but they've missed him.
Okay.
Because he's in this bush.
And I went across a field of grass. I came up on some woods, and I listened good. I heard like a whimpering kind of noise. And at that point, I was like, there's no other kids here. It's got to be JJ. So sure enough, I went in the woods, and about 100 feet from where I was at, I think he was in some stickers. There's a lot of stickers and all there.
Tonight in our Missing series, a case that we have heard a lot about from our viewers.
The person.
He wants to take me down the road to like a neighbor's house or something, like another farm. I also hear neighbor. He said he knows this guy. He knows him. And he's a neighbor. I don't know what the friends come in.
Suspect, 58-year-old James Brenner, who also happens to be Dylan's closest neighbor in the remote desert area of Lucin.
Okay, guys. Hi. Sorry, that's it's kind of hard to maneuver all this stuff. Anyway, long time no see. Good to be back today. This little boy has been kind of on my mind, so I decided I would try and channel and see what I can get for him. As you guys know, I'll only give what spirit gives, and they only do things in a certain amount of time frame. So whatever they want to give me is what I'll give you guys. You know, as I always say, psychics don't know everything. We just know what we're given, and it's always about puzzle pieces and putting the puzzle pieces together, and that especially happens when it comes to location. So I will try to get a location. I will try to get what happened, and we'll just have to see how things go. And hopefully everybody behaves while I do this. So as you guys know, information can be past, present, future, symbolic, or have multiple meanings. Spirit will sometimes use my references, experiences, or how I relate to something to try to explain what they're wanting to say. You know, sometimes they'll use books or videos or shows or whatever to try to give me the reference of, okay, it's like this. So it's how how I take it or how I can understand it so that they can try to explain it. So I may also misperceive, so I try not to misperceive. I try to just give what spirit gives, but I do have certain symbolisms for things, but sometimes I notice that the information that I tell you guys, it doesn't necessarily always fit my symbolism. So it is how it fits and makes sense. But I do try to perceive the best way that I can, but it's not always easy. So keep that in mind. As I get information, Vanished and Forgotten is going to validate what she knows. She's not going to know everything because not everything is out. Some information that I get may be in the future, maybe stuff that we don't know. So she's not going to be able to validate everything. She will validate what she knows. And actually, she's not going to have her video on today just sound. This will help the reading flow. And we've noticed that it helps with my readings because it's like I'm giving her a reading for those of you that are new. Hopefully there aren't any distractions, but my son is here. The animals are out. So hopefully, speaking of, everything will go okay. But, you know, if you guys have watched me for a while, you do know that animals are protectors. They feel the spirit energy. They do come around, and animals are animals, just like kids. So keep that in mind. I don't know if I've explained everything. So everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This is in no way factual information, just psychic medium impressions, and viewer discretion is advised. And I think I said in everything. I start to get a little spacey when spirit starts to come in, so I think that's what's happening because I am starting to feel certain things as I've had his picture up for the entire time. And I hope that the intro was good. You guys can always fast forward if you don't want to watch it. I think I've said everything I need to say. I don't know. Oh, one more thing. So things can be symbolic, right? So if I say something and explain something that's not exactly factual, it may be that they're trying to be symbolic with something. We're noticing that sometimes they can be symbolic in even showing the movie. It might be symbolic, like it might not have happened exactly that way, but I am just a human connecting to a different vibration, so mind can come into play and whatnot, but I do try to get the most accurate information as I can. So keep that in mind. But I am starting to get a little nauseous and not feel good. So I think he's trying to come in. I think he wants to speak. So I'm going to bring on Vanished and Forgotten and we'll get to rolling here. Okay, you're there, but you're on mute. There you go.
All right. Can you hear me?
Are you there? Can you turn it up? I can't. Okay. I can barely hear you.
But you can hear me?
I can hear you, but barely.
Okay.
Like you're not very loud.
Okay. Huh.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to be having the goats in on my readings anymore because they're starting to get into stuff. One's standing on the table right now.
Oh, no.
Okay. Hi, Neo. Hi, baby. Okay. Okay, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just I think if you talk louder, then we'll be able to hear you. Okay, I hope.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I have his picture pulled up. Leo. Move. I think I forgot to mention, I always try to stay away from all cases and don't know anything. So I don't really know anything about this other than the basics. You know, how his mom fled and they haven't heard from him in a while. That's basically all I know. Oh, and I think that he's got some kind of illness, but I don't really know what it is. So if facts do come in, it's just to validate. I'm always going to say what I get, and even if stuff is known, spirit will sometimes also mention facts as a part of validation. So I think that's one thing I forgot to mention. I try to remember all the questions that I have. So yeah, in the beginning. Oh no, I'm feeling freaking nauseous all of a sudden. We might pull some cards at the end of this to validate. I don't know yet. We'll see. Okay, so I get the word abusive, I feel like she was like abusive, but it seems like more so to him than to the other kids. But I think she's just an abusive mom. Like she doesn't know how to handle her temper. She doesn't know how to handle, if kids get to be too much. And I think she's got her hands overly full, and she doesn't know how to deal with the stress and whatnot. That's how it comes in, but for some reason, I don't know if it's because he's more of a challenge or what, or there's some kind of animosity or something towards him specifically. I don't know if they all have the same dad.
Right.
But there's something about him where I feel like she was meaner to him.
Yeah.
I hear not sold, so I don't feel he was sold or anything like that. I think it might be, I hear a cover story.
Yeah.
Or what she's told people so that they go looking in other directions. Yep. And they waste time. And I feel like it comes across as things were starting to heat up in this manner. I don't know if it was school was wondering where he was, or there's some kind of therapy was wondering where he was, but it's like it was getting too close for comfort, and that's why she fled.
Yeah.
As far as the timing, but I want to I keep getting the month of October. I keep wanting to go back to October. So I don't know if that's when he actually went missing or when he was last heard from, but that's the month that's coming in as far as.
Yep, that was the last month that he was seen.
Okay. Do you know if it was like, I'm getting like mid to end, so I want to go like from the middle of October to the end of October, like a time frame?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Crap. My picture keeps going little. I don't want it little. Okay, so there's a couple things. Like all of a sudden I can't breathe. Like my chest is really heavy. I'm having a hard time breathing.
Yeah. That makes sense because he had lung problems.
Yeah, okay. And I'm wondering if he was on a type of medication that like made him sort of nauseous sometimes. Because I feel nauseous, but I don't know if it has anything to do with his passing or just him as a spirit. Because that
actually makes sense. Because when his mom would feed him, he would puke sometimes.
Okay. Because I feel like super nauseous. I also feel like it comes across as he's a burden. Like he's a burden. Like she doesn't want to coddle him and take care of him in that way. It was like it became kind of too much. But it's almost like, so I'm getting like withheld. Like there's things withheld like that she wouldn't give him. I don't know if it's food, if it's water, if it's it comes across as either or. Sometimes both. Okay. But
both.
it's just to be a bee. That she didn't want to deal with it, or if she felt like he was being bad, like that was her way of like punishing him. Like there's like severe punishment when it comes to him.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
And I keep feeling like I don't know if she hit him, because I feel like there's I'm getting slapped or I'm getting hit, but also the sense of there's some kind of like emotional, which of course if a kid's being treated that way they're going to have emotional damage, but it feels like there's also emotional and physical damage that comes.
Yes. Yep.
It's almost like he's saying like he's saying like I can never do anything right. I was a burden. And I feel like she would get mad at him, like when we're talking about when he would throw up or when he would get sick, she would get mad at him.
Yes. Yep.
And there's something about he's supposed to have breathing treatments for something and he wasn't getting them. There's his needs weren't being met for his medical issues.
Right.
Because I keep getting the reference to he needed like breathing treatments or something like breathing treatments.
Yes.
Yep. I consider them breathing treatments because I can relate to that because my son used to have asthma. So that's how I don't know if it's the same thing with him. Like he was supposed to get breathing treatments.
He was on some kind of breathing treatment for the lung problems that he had. Yes.
Okay. I also get steroids. Like, so I don't know if he was supposed to be on steroids for his lung issues as well. But
I didn't hear that, but it would make sense. I mean, my kid's on it, so.
Right. Mine was too, but I hear the word. So I'm wondering if like his lungs weren't like fully developed or something. So when I kind of tap into her, I'm curious about some kind of addictions with her.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's in the past or recent, but I also get like did they have different dads? Like did she have a couple of different dads? Because I feel like I'm hopping around from guy to guy and I get pregnant. I hop around to another guy and I get pregnant.
Yes, that's correct.
But there's a reference to like his dad, like I hear crossing the border. So I don't know if like his dad came from like Mexico or the other side of the border.
His dad lives in Mexico.
It's kind of, I don't understand how they met. I want to say like internet or something like that. Like there's a reference to, I don't know how she meets these people, but online or something. I don't know. But right. I keep getting like I'm hopping, like I have kids with one guy, then I hop to another guy, then I hop to another guy. Like I feel like she's got some mental issues, honestly.
Yeah.
She's not a stable person, and these other kids, she shouldn't have these other kids.
Right.
In my opinion. In my opinion, from what Spirit's showing me, she's not stable in her mindset and who she is to be raising these kids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if she goes manic. I almost feel like up and down with her, almost like a kind of like bipolar sort of feeling. But it's like I'm up and down, you know? Like I can be cool for a little bit, but then I fly off the handle. Like I get a little manic. Like that's kind of how I'm getting with her. So I'm trying to see like what happened with him, because it kind of comes across as like, one, I wasn't getting the treatment I was supposed to, and two, something happened where she got angry. So it's kind of a thing of both, but I know like I can't breathe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like not being able to breathe is like a major thing. I'm having a hard time like catching my breath or taking a deep breath. And then there's also a reference to my head. He keeps referencing my head. So I don't know if he was hit in the head at some point, or he kind of hit his head in some way, shape, or form. But I don't, for some reason, like she's shaking a pill bottle at me, like either he didn't have the medication or she was withholding it from him, just like she withheld food and water.
Okay, I would think withheld.
So I don't know, maybe she didn't, like in her mind, like maybe his issues weren't like serious enough or something. It's kind of her thinking is kind of weird. It's almost like she doesn't care he had the issues, or she didn't think they were like anything major.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how it's coming across. It's weird. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense because she was abusive towards Noel that people saw.
I guess I almost feel like I'm suffocated, honestly, but then there's a mention to my head, and I'm, for some reason, like I don't always see what happens. Like I'll get bits and pieces, and the main thing is like I can't breathe.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm relating that like to his passing, or if it's just because he struggled to breathe in his everyday life. It's very possible I'm getting it for that reason.
Right.
But I even wonder if he had a cough, because that was not me. I hear the word pneumonia. I'm wondering if at some point he had pneumonia, or if he had pneumonia prior to his passing. It's almost like, it's not that I feel like she meant to do it. It's like one of those things that happened or was bound to happen because of the way he was treated.
Yeah.
So that's like how it comes in when I try to look at his passing and whatnot.
Okay.
There's a reference to keys. Like I feel like I'm being hit with keys or something that's like keys.
Yes. Yeah.
It's because I can hear the jingling and I can see him, and I like see him coming. So it's just like whatever she had in her hand.
Yes.
And it's really over nothing, because I mean he's a good kid. He just he struggles. You know, I actually feel he was pretty quiet. I don't.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some kind of animosity towards his dad. I keep bringing it back to, I wonder if part of the reason, like she had like resentment towards him.
Right, maybe.
You know, because I keep bringing it back to the dad and maybe having resentment for the kid.
Yeah.
And the resentment might come from the fact that he's sick, obviously. But
Right.
it's almost like I keep wanting to bring resentment to like towards the dad.
Okay. There was a person, I'm not sure if it was family or not, but they did report to that he was seen hit with car keys, so that makes sense with the keys.
Yeah, so I wonder if it just like was something in her hand, and it
Yeah.
it feels like it was kind of like out of nowhere, and that's what I feel like she did is like she would fly off the handle for no reason at him. I feel like she was like that, like she's like that to all of her kids, but it's just like he's worse.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I keep wanting to go back to you know, partly it's because he's sick and partly it has something to do with his dad. And you know, that's really weird, but some women hang on to that. Like if they don't like their dad or there's something going on, like they blame the child, you know? And so it kind of comes across that way. Unfortunately, it's really sad.
Right.
There's also a reference to him not being like cleaned or kept up or just not taken really good care of, like he should have been.
Right.
He actually should have been given to like a family member or something like that. In the way,
Yeah.
I hear the word aunt, so I don't know if he was close to his aunt, if his aunt knows something, but there's a reference to that, to an aunt. Should be her, either. I don't know if it's her side or his side, but there's a reference to an aunt. I don't know that maybe
she had said something about that Noel, that she sent Noel to Mexico to his aunt. And then there was another time where she said that he sent them to Mexico with his dad. So maybe that's why you're getting the dad and the aunt. And then it come to find out he wasn't.
it's possible. I know that's why I'm getting aunt, but and it could be why I'm getting dad, but I still feel like there's some kind of like,
oh yeah,
I
resentment.
don't like you. I blame your, you know, I don't like your kid because I don't like you, kind of, or I don't like our kid because they don't like you. Like that's just a feeling I keep getting.
Okay. So that probably could be why you're getting off.
For some reason, like I said, she treats him worse than she does the other ones.
Yes.
Like she treats
and a lot of people notice that too.
Crappy, but she treats him like worse. I also hear twins, so I don't know if she has twins or he was born before or after the twins. But I also get some like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
He was born before the twins. The twins were born right around the end of October area.
I wonder if he's saying the end of October when he went missing?
I don't want to tell you too much, but the twins were born at around the end of October, and that's when Noel was last seen.
Okay, so that's why he's bringing up the twins. It's the timing of his disappearance, and that's why I'm getting mid to end of October. That makes total sense because it's getting like closer to like Halloween time. Okay, yeah, I get like postpartum with her.
Yeah,
with
could
the
be
twins, you know, because I just think she had too much on her plate, and she's not mentally fit for it.
Right.
Like if they find her, they need to take the kids, honestly, or she needs to get help to take the kids and get help, you know, because that's what she feels is she needs some mental. Help. But this feels like it happened. It was either right before or right after they were born. There's a timeline of that's when this happened, was around that. And I do feel like it has a little bit to do with their birth. Like maybe she was overextended, overly tired, you know. Even if it was before, you know, how you get at the end of the pregnancy.
Yeah.
So it feels like that it has something to do with that situation.
Okay.
And more neglect and more being on edge. and
Okay.
that's why he's giving them, because it's the timing of it. Okay. And that's a different dad, right?
Yes, it is.
So she have, I hear 3. Does she have 3 different dads, or do we know?
I'm not sure for how many kids she has.
Okay.
But there is at least 3, yes.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not judgmental. I'm just
No, I know.
that's what he's giving. So I feel like he's the only one that she has from that specific dad.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
and I don't know if that's right, but that's why it feels like it's like she looks at him different. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Right, it could be all the needs that he needed to, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to put her in the same category as Letitia Stauch and Vallow. Like, as far as mentally not stable.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she's as bad as they are, but I want to put them like in the same category, like mentally unstable.
Okay.
Like, I would be worried about the rest of the kids, because I get that feeling of I could take out all my kids and myself.
Oh, okay.
At some point,
Oh.
that's the feeling I get from her. I'm not saying she will, so don't freak out with me, but it's just like the feeling that I get with her. Like, that's how on edge or how unpredictable she can be. Like, especially maybe if cops get too close and she knows about it. Like, I'm really concerned for the other kids. I just don't feel like he's mentally stable enough to be handling them. I'm trying to see more of like what happened to him, because it's more like I can't breathe. There's a reference to my head, but I'm not getting like the situation. I feel like it was nighttime.
Okay.
I don't feel like it was anything like I don't know. I don't know if you want to call it on purpose or not, because I don't think she planned to do it. I just think it's something that just happened. And I almost want to go to Gannon's situation, and how I was seeing like Gannon was beat, but I couldn't breathe with him either. So it's almost like I kind of want to go back to that. Like, I feel there was some kind of trauma.
Right. Okay.
And I don't know if she was abusing him and then all of a sudden he couldn't breathe, because it kind of comes in together. Like, his medical issue had something to do with what was going on with him at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
If I'm kind of making sense, like his medical issue caused him to pass away, where like maybe a normal kid wouldn't have.
Right.
So it's because I don't feel he was sold. I don't feel he's alive out there, unfortunately. I feel like this was something tragic that happened. She got away with it as long as she could, with like people really noticing, and when they started to notice, that's what I feel like she started making plans. But I feel like when they really started to notice, that's when she really started getting her plans together. Yeah. And I don't know if family sent her money, or how she sold something, or how she got money, and it wasn't him, because really, if you think about it, if he was sick, who's going to really want to buy a sick kid? That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Especially for the amount of tickets. So she came across it some other way.
Right.
Does she have family? Do we know if she has family in India?
I think he does. I'm not sure about her. But her boyfriend, husband, whatever, he does, yes.
Of the other kids?
The younger two, yes.
Okay.
Like the boyfriend she's with now.
Yeah, with the twins, the dad of the twins.
Yeah, has ties over there. I'm not sure about her though.
Okay. Because I keep getting family, but I just don't know if it's, related to her or not. So
Right.
that's fine. If it's related to, it's still considered family if it's related to the kid's dad. Okay. He keeps shaking that medication bottle at me like it's important. Like maybe he needed medicine, he didn't get medicine or something.
Okay.
And maybe he had gotten sick and had pneumonia at the time, because I keep getting that. Like I get like a raspy, my lungs are filled with fluid kind of thing. And I something happened, and instead of seeking medical attention, she didn't, because it's her fault. It's her fault for what she was doing to him at the time, because she was abusing and neglecting him, and then his medical issues. So it's going to be considered neglect, and her butt would go to jail, which I think. Wonder what the extradition law is for India, if they have one or not.
Like to extradite him back here?
Yeah, because I keep seeing her like in jail, but I don't know if they're gonna catch up with her or what. But it's almost like there's something with the therapist. I don't know if he was going to like. Sometimes they have like breathing therapy, or just because it's almost like she's the one that alerted the police, or
Okay.
she had threatened that she was going to alert the police, and this put her on the go.
Oh, okay.
But I keep getting a therapist.
All right,
and there might be a therapist that knows more. And I don't know if that's like a respiratory therapist or like what kind of therapist it is. I don't really know. I just hear the word therapist, and I think it was someone he was seeing or was supposed to see. And I don't know if he was getting state assistance. That would be another reason why she didn't report anything, because she was getting money still.
Yes, that is true. She was still collecting on Noel.
So he had like disability.
Yes.
Okay. Because that's what I'm getting is like disability or something like that. But there was a threat, like, we're going to tell and you're going to get your disability stopped if he doesn't show up. And so that was the point of, okay, I need to get out of here because I can't produce the kid.
Right.
But there was a threat from the therapist. And I'm wondering if the therapist is actually the one that talked to the police department, or first made the report that, hey, he hasn't been to therapy, no one's seen him, that kind of thing. So there's a kid that knows something, but he's afraid to. They're afraid to speak. It's one of the older kids. I wonder if she has an older boy.
Oh yeah.
She does have an older boy.
I'm gonna assume so. Yes.
I hear 6. I don't know if that's the amount of kids or exactly what that is.
She has 6 of them right now with her. Yes.
Okay, so she does have 6 kids. Also, it's been 6 months that he's been missing. If we go from October, so there's a multiple meanings for 6. So so she has 6 kids with him. So he would have made 7. There's our 7 again. But all right, so 6 kids.
She's got 6 with her, and then Noel would be 7, but there's more.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So I wonder if she has an older. It's like almost the oldest. There's an oldest and there's a middle, and they know something.
Okay.
Like it's almost like the Cal City boys. Like if the cops were to take them and talk to them, they would know something.
Right. Yep.
It comes across like, and that's another reason why she took them and left, because she knows they know.
Yeah.
But they're afraid of her. They're literally afraid of her because they know. I'm wondering, there's something about a closet. I wonder if she locked him in a closet or a room that's like a closet. Because all of a sudden I feel like I'm in a room, like a closet, or a very dark, small room with the door.
Okay.
And I'm like not giving food or water or anything like that. It's kind of, there's different cases I'm getting referenced that's happened in. And so I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it. Like if there's,
if she put him in the closet and left him and forgot about him. I don't really know. But there's a reference to a closet or an area that's like a closet that would remind you of one. Okay, an enclosed area with a door. I reference it as a closet because that's what it reminds me of.
Right.
I wonder if they have a garden shed, if there's a garden shed on that property. I'm not saying that's where he is, but I know that that's not like her property. Like she was renting from a guy and he was letting him stay in that property. That's all I know because I know they dug up the cement. But I'm hearing like garden shed. So I wonder if there's some kind of shed on the property that's like a garden shed and they don't really understand why they're bringing that up really. It could be evidence. It could be related to him.
They were living in, like, there was a shed built in the backyard for them to live in recently. Maybe about a year.
So is that what they were living in, or is there another garden shed on that property?
I'm pretty sure that's the only shed back there.
Okay.
And that's what they were living in.
That could be why I'm getting it. Okay, that could be why I'm getting it then. It could as a kid he can relate to it as a garden shed. I don't know. So the guy that was renting them the property, like I feel like he does want him found. I feel like maybe he knows something he doesn't realize he knows. And I feel like maybe she was doing little favors for him. I don't know what those favors are. That's all I'm gonna say in that department. Allegedly.
He's never had to buy food after she moved in. So
yeah. So there's favors there. Like he was getting something out of it too, allegedly.
Right.
And I think that he was getting a little more out of it than people realize. Allegedly. So do we know if she had a car or any kind of transportation? Well, that if she hit him with car keys, I guess she did.
Yeah, she did. I don't think I ever saw the car though.
That's fine. I keep pulling a river. I keep seeing a river.
Okay.
But I know that me and you talked about there being like a field and then the creek. And I don't know if there's a river in that area. I didn't see one.
I didn't see one either.
But I didn't really go out far.
I'll look.
Because I told you I said there's a field and a creek, and then when we pulled up their address, the field and creek were right like behind the house.
Yeah.
But for some reason I keep seeing a river. Like the reason why I don't think that he's on the property is because she knows that's the first place they're gonna look.
Right.
And she doesn't want him found. So that's why I really don't. Unless there's another garden shed that we don't know about that there's significance to. And that he doesn't mean that where they were living,
Right. I mean, the creek is really long. It looks like a river, but I'm not seeing like a river around here.
Yeah, sometimes I can't tell the difference between a creek and a river just because sometimes creeks are smaller, rivers are bigger, but this one looks like a flowing river. Go outside city limits a little bit.
Okay.
I just need to see if it exists. It exists because I don't know why I'm getting that.
And I know that the cops are currently checking the creek bed, but I think he's further out than that. I think he's further away than that.
There is one river outside of town. Well, I guess it'd be a couple towns over.
Just wonder if she would have went that far. If you think of all that she's done to conceal this and then to leave, I mean...
It's actually right in the next town over.
Which is kind of where I wanted to go. I kind of wanted to go past city line. I was getting my symbol for like...
And there's a big field
like
right
next town.
Yeah.
Either next town or next county was what my symbol was for.
Okay. There's a big field open by this one too. So
See, in my vision, the creek looks smaller, but this I'm seeing like a flowing river. Like he's adamant a flowing river, and I'm just wondering if she threw him in there.
Okay.
Because I just keep seeing the river and over and over and over and over again. Is there any farmland out there?
Right by the river? Yes.
Okay. Because I'm getting farmland or farm fields, and then the river, and then the river.
Yes. Yep.
He's adamant about the river. And it's almost like I get the reference to Gannon with the suitcase for some reason. And I don't know if that was just how she took him somewhere or she actually kept him in the suitcase and put him in. I don't really know. I don't think so. But it's because I keep getting like how Gannon was kind of found, like how he was in the suitcase and he was kind of off, off the river right there. I think she meant to throw him in the river and she missed. So I don't really know why I'm getting that reference or the suitcase reference, unless it's just how she took him out of the house or a bag or anything like that. It's just, and it could be because of the timing of Gannon's case right now and everything in trial, but, which she's going to jail. I mean, she's going to stay in jail. I think she's going to be found guilty. I'll just shoot that out there because it's coming up. But, I get that, that little girl that I told you, and then that was tossed in the river like her dad did it. And then I got the same vision again with the one found in the alligator's mouth, but he was thrown into water. So I'm kind of getting like the same vision there. Like, I don't think she took the time to bury him. I think she took him to the river and threw him in. Like something easy. I don't see her putting a lot of effort and time into disposing of him. And I also, there's a reference to how close to the road is the river and the fields. Because it's like, are there any trees there too? Because it's like I pull off the road, I walk through some trees, and like the river's like right there.
Not by this one, by the one by his house, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying like wooded. It's like I get like just a few trees, like, or a clump or something like that. No, baby, don't walk on the computer.
I don't think the one at the house is right because it doesn't. I don't think that's a very deep, very fast flowing river. The way that I'm seeing it is it's like a river, and I'm getting farm fields. And like I said, I'm getting kind of like outside of town or next town over. Like I get that line, and when I get that line, it's usually outside of city limits or outside of county limits. Like a different county. It's usually a different county or different city or a different state. Whatever you would cross a line for. How far away is this from the house?
But that's what I was trying to figure out.
Sorry, he's adamant about showing. He's just showing me the river over and over and over again. And there's a reference to like a chain link fence or something like that. I don't know where that is though.
It's really weird that you're saying that because the one by his house, I know you can want me to look further away, but like there's a chain link fence, then the field right there, and then that creek that looks like a river is really long too, so that's right by the house.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a deep river. It barely even showed up on my map. Like he's showing me a fast flowing river.
Okay.
And I feel like I wanted to go further away from the house because they keep showing me like the cops looking like close to the house and all of that, and then it might not be right. I don't know. I just feel like if she's gonna go through all of this trouble and not wanting him found and not saying that she was not gonna put him anywhere where he's gonna be found easy. And that creek, I don't know how deep that creek is, but he's showing me a fast flowing river, and I heard out of town. And then I got my line. So my line either tells me again it's either another city, another county, another state, which I don't think it's a state or county. I think it's city, maybe even next to the city line. But the river feels like it's fast flowing. It's like I keep trying to pull what else, and I just keep seeing the river. And I know they were saying the cops were looking in the creek bed, so that tells me there's not a lot of water in that creek bed. I don't think. Not from the way they said it.
Oh no. Probably depends on the weather.
No, this feels like a deep. I keep seeing a deep, fast flowing river like over and over and over again.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a correction. The river that I found, I thought was a town over, but it's actually 50 minutes away. It's the only one that I can.
I don't know if she would have driven that far, but all I know is he's repeating the river.
And there is trees, the river's there, and there's a field there.
Like I try to go around the river, and I it's just he keeps showing that to me. Like he's not showing me anything else. Let me see what the cards. Let's see if the cards say anything. So I want to see if it gives me river, it gives me any more. I don't even know. Sometimes the cards are an extension of you, but sometimes I find them. It's all on how I perceive it with the cards too. And I just dropped half of them on the floor. Sorry. Sorry about that. Eclipse. Hope I grab them all. I can't get around the river. Fuck. I hate that.
What?
Huh? It's like I'm not pulling any words or anything either. I just can't get around the river.
Right.
Come on. I hate my picture keeps going away. I don't know. I keep getting tall brush too. It could be he's either in the river or by the river. But they keep referencing those other cases for kids that were in or by.
Right.
Oh, he's 6. I didn't even know that. There's another reason for 6.
Yeah. Yep.
So we've got 3 reasons for 6. I don't know. Location's so hard sometimes.
Right.
And I mostly just see it in descriptions. I wish I was given like, okay, this city, this road.
Right. A lot of these creeks literally are so long they could be a river, but I
just see something fast flowing. I mean, it could be symbolic, but let's see what the cards say.
Everything down there is creek.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like a large creek, I guess, but it's one with water in it for sure.
Right. Well, if the snow is melting, it'd be fast flowing.
Yeah, but it would have had to have been when he went missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess if they got snow, I guess I forgot it's Texas. My bad.
I was just wondering about that. Okay. We got water supply, but not a river. Oh, water. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
I did pull the water card. Okay, so that was the last one. I was like, I need to pull one more, and it was water. Go figure. Okay, so I got wooded area. I don't think she put him in. Okay, wooded area, crossroad, home, which we know that happened in the home.
Yep.
Water supply. Like this is like the water supply card, like any kind of water supply for city or whatever. Fire. I don't know that. I don't know if she would have done that, but I guess it's possible. Or she burned evidence. It's possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got school, motel or hotel, frozen, and water. And it could be frozen because at some point, the water was frozen. I don't know if that's what that means. And then the water was the last card. I don't know if any of those things are by where we're looking, but school and motel hotel came in. I wonder.
Well, there's a high school a little bit south of where their house is.
Okay. And it's weird. I was asking about a road because there's a crossroad right there.
Yeah.
And I was getting trees for a wooded area. Like I said, it could be a clump. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this whole wooded area,
Right.
Oh, my shoulder's hurting. I wonder what the fire is, unless she like burned evidence. I don't think him, because I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean. It's all on how I perceive the cards, so some of this could be evidence stuff. Is there any kind of water source around, like water supply?
Which would mean
Like a sewage place or a water place, like these things where they, pump the water out to the rest of the city. Like maybe near it might be near like a river or something, because sometimes they're near those. Again, like super drained all of a sudden, but let's see what it gives me. I want to see what else the cards give me. Let's see what the suspect says. I just keep seeing the river over. He's got to be like near either near in a big creek or a river. That one flew out, so I'm going to keep it. The caregiver card, which you can take that as a mom, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It comes. I mean, it has it like as a doctor or a nurse, but I take it as she was his caregiver. So.
Yeah.
I wonder if that family is related to royalty. That's kind of weird that royalty card came out.
Oh.
I got caregiver, which, like I said, I take as the mom because she's supposed to be his caregiver, even with medical stuff. Devil card. Royalty, I don't know what that means, if that has anything to do with dad's side or not. Like, I don't know. And parental figure. So that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
For the suspect. And again, these cards are just like for validation and to get anything extra. And I might channel, I might get more off of pulling them, but I got like super drained, like all of a sudden. Oh, my dogs are barking. I
mean, there's a fourth water tower, probably about a couple miles from his house. It's the only thing I can find right now.
Fuck. I just keep throwing everything everywhere. Okay, so I got natural causes, drugs, poison, death.
Oh, wow. It's everything he told you too.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna do the extra info.
Everyone in Texas is so small that you could literally walk and you would be out of the town. That's how small it is. Because where is it? There's a plumbing company around there.
Yeah, that's not water supply.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. It's okay. I just, sometimes they show me the area really good and sometimes they don't, but he's adamant about like either a really big creek or a river. But it's something with a lot of water in it. And there's a reference to, like, I keep seeing, I kind of see rocks, like how I kept seeing rocks in Gannon. And then there's, embankment, like kind of like an embankment down to the river kind of thing.
See, there is a lake connected to that creek that big long creek I've been talking about.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually, I was getting that earlier. I was going to ask you if there was a larger body of water somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's connected to that creek that goes by his house, and it's really long.
It depends on how much water was in there.
It's north of.
Because he shows me like a lot of water.
Yeah.
It's flowing water, so whether that's where he ended up or not, I don't know. But my head just started hurting out of nowhere. Just looked every single one of these cards. I caught them. Haven't pulled any of these cards before. Okay. See, I wonder who this guy connects to, because I got an affluent card and royalty card. So who the hell does he connect to? I'm gonna pull one more. Okay. All right. So these are pretty accurate. I got egotism, communication, justice. I've never pulled that card before. Justice card. Timeline issue, which we know.
Yep.
Anger, which we know.
Yep.
Debt. Intuition. I don't really know what this cards mean other than I take it as my intuition's right. I don't know how else to take it. See, the affluent card, and we got royalty card. So who is that guy connected to? Does he have like connections in India that are like to more affluent people or something? I don't know. Because that came, and then secret trip, which we know.
Yep.
And surveillance, which I think more than likely she's been on surveillance somewhere. Yep. More than likely the airport or something like that. So those were all really accurate too.
Yep.
But it all just validated my reading and stuff we already know. So.
Right. Well, the FBI is out for her. So.
Yeah. I just wonder who they connect to, because I pulled the royalty card and the affluent card. So it makes me wonder if there's some kind of connection to not really to her, but maybe to like one of the son's dads.
Okay.
Because that's just weird that, you know, I pulled the royalty card and then I pulled a fluent card. And obviously she's not, but it just makes me wonder if one of them is. I don't know. Because it is India, but I don't know. Is there a school or anything by the lake? Because I definitely feel water, but I keep getting like, I keep seeing the flowing river. But I was going to ask you, like, is there a larger body of water further down? Because I was getting like a lake or a pond like further down, like
further
in the distance. But and then we would, because I am getting trees, so there's got to be like a clump of trees or some type of wooded area. Because I feel like she pulled off the road, and that could be the crossroads. Like the roads might split. That's usually what a crossroad is. You know, is when the roads split like that. So maybe looking for, because it's almost like she pulled off the road, went into like a wooded area or where there's a bunch of trees, like to hide. I don't know.
Right. Well, the lake is north of that creek that connects to his, like the one that goes by his house.
Yeah.
I just see the road name. The road name that goes over it.
Is there anything with the letter C around there?
Around the road or
anywhere around what we're talking about? I'm getting the letter C and the letter R, but I'm not getting names, of course, because those are really hard to get sometimes.
C and R. I'm not sure. I don't want to assume on that, but I want to tell you the road because you got from the card you just got, like royalty or whatever. The road that goes above that between the lake that connects to the creek is called Ronald Reagan Memorial Highway. Isn't Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, I mean he's an old president.
Yeah.
I mean,
because that road literally goes right over.
I mean, it could be. It's all in how we perceive it. I mean,
right.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. And I just got an R.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely if it doesn't connect to anybody that he knows, you know.
Right. I just wanted to, I don't know.
Does that place have like, does that road have like a crossroads, or crossroads is like it could go through two separate ways?
Yes.
Is there a wooded area over there?
Well, that's all over, yeah.
And does it lead to the water?
I'm just gonna send you a screenshot so I'm not misunderstanding you. Can I or no?
Yeah. I'm also getting reference to like a brick building or a brick something. I know that brick keeps coming in, but I'm seeing it as like a brick building, like a building with brick on it. I don't really know what that means.
So that, I think I just want, maybe if I send you a pin location so you can zoom in and out.
Where is this at? Because that's a big ass river.
Well, that's connected to the creek. That creek that goes by his house, that's why I said it looks like a river.
Okay. Because before the creek looked smaller. So yeah, I mean.
I'm just gonna send you the pin of the church that's below it, okay? So that way you can zoom in and out.
I can see the church.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you want to like zoom in and out from where he lives.
Oh, okay.
There you go. And that connects to that, and it goes all the way down. You let me know if it doesn't look right, so we can look other places if it doesn't.
Did you put his...
Do you want me to send you
How far away do they live from here?
Alright. I'll get it for you. I'm just going to use that church by that one place, okay?
Man, I feel exhausted all of a sudden.
Ignore that. Oh, geez.
I get like super frustrated when like I don't get names or even symbols for certain things. I get frustrated.
Right.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of I feel like he's like outside of the search area, but like not super far. Like 50 miles seems, I think it seems too far for me. I mean, It feels too far for what I'm feeling. But the river is definitely significant. River, creek, whatever it is, a big area of flowing water. But I feel like she went to an area where she had to walk through trees, right off road where she could pull off. The way that it comes across is that she put him in the water, but.
All right, now I'm sending it to you. It's 11 miles. I finally got it. That last one I sent is the directions. It's only 11 miles. Well, no, it's 5.6 miles.
And I don't think people understand like how hard it is to locate. It's so hard to locate.
Right, I know. So this one's 5.6 miles from that church that I showed you to his house. But that just shows you where the beginning of the river or the creek starts.
Yeah, it didn't do.
Thought the road.
Okay.
Huh? I just thought what the road was called kind of caught my eye when you got that card.
Okay. I'm wondering about the landfill because that was one of the next cards I was gonna pull. And it looks like you go past landfill services.
Yep.
When I saw that card, I was like, huh, did she do that? She put him in the trash. Yeah. But no, I keep getting water. I think if she did, I would be seeing like I did with Gannon. I mean, not Gannon, Quentin. I wonder how fast that creek flows. You know, or how much water was in it. Because over by his house, it looks a lot smaller.
Right.
But I don't want to just be on this map looking while I'm got you guys going here. There's Rendon Road below it. It's weird because Quell came in Felicia. Okay, look, there's a water thing right here. I think it's a water thing. It looks like it. But interesting, Campus Drive. Makes me think of school.
Right.
But it's on the opposite side, so I don't know. But the college is right there.
The high school's right by his house too. Elementary school. There's a bunch of schools.
Oh, there's North Little School Way too. North Little School Road too. I don't know. The best thing I can say is, interesting. There's Echo Heights right there. So in Gannon, I got Echo, and they kept going back to Gannon in this reading.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's one of my interconnects, and I forgot to mention the interconnect thing. How maybe not everything would fit here, but that's super interesting to me.
Feel really bad for Noel.
So I was wondering about what is that? Is that water things right there? What the hell? Yes, that's a water thing right there off of Bolin. So that's got to be the area around there. If you can walk right through the woods right there, but that's not very close. Well, yeah, there's a road right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of back roads.
By this public storage place, it looks like this is like a water source, I don't know. Can't really tell what it is because stupid maps suck. I hate them. I don't know. I really feel like she put them in. It's got to be. See, this creek doesn't look as small as I remember. It's smaller at his house, I think.
Yeah.
I just keep getting the flat, flowing river or creek, whatever. I can't tell the difference sometimes because sometimes it's smaller in my brain. You know, sometimes creeks are smaller or bigger or vice versa. He's either going to be really close to water or in the water. But it's been so long if he's in the water. I think she might have weighted him though. But I can't figure out what the suitcase is about. Figure out the suitcase because that kind of keeps coming in. So there's a creek that runs through the Echo Heights too. I don't know. I mean, that's basically all I'm getting. I don't want to sit here and be on the map for hours.
Okay. Yeah.
As you guys know, if I get anything else, I'll post it on my community page or make a video, depending on how important it is. And I'm always down for people that live in Texas or whatever. But the rivers is super significant. The water is super significant. I keep kind of getting that reference to Gannon. But see,
Okay.
Gannon was, he was in a suitcase in the rocks, like really close to the water. I don't know if she tried to put him in the water or what. And I remember before he was found, I had a dream of cops like wading through the water,
Right.
and like finding him. And with Gannon, like towards the end, because she moved him, I felt like he was way up the map. Like I wanted to go way far, but before I didn't feel like that. So I think I was picking up multiple areas. But anyway, so when we go back to Gannon, there's a bridge involved, there's water involved. So I'm just wondering what the significance of why that keeps coming in. There's got to be some kind of similarities as to where he was found.
Right.
Well,
Gannon was under
or how he was found.
Right.
Because she might have. I mean, I don't know if she would have really. I do keep getting a bag or suitcase. Now that could be because they left, packed the bags and left, but it's almost like I don't know if she just transported him in that or kept him in that.
All right.
So that's what I got so far. I'm completely wiped out and drained. I just am not getting any more. Sorry. So that's what I'm supposed to get for now. If I feel a pull back, I'll come back to it. And if I get any like a dream or any kind of significant information, I'll let you guys know. Because sometimes areas come to me in dreams. I got lucky with Felicia, but it doesn't always happen. So I just feel like the river or creek, whatever it is, flowing water has to be significant.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just don't know what the line is because I'd be curious like where the next county is, or because that line can sometimes be, and it could be for different meanings. I don't know. I don't really know.
But there is a bunch of small towns, and Everman's not even that big.
Yeah. So it could just be like he's saying like next city or next county or something like that.
Because I'm gonna send you.
It might not be that he's in that specific, because I feel like I'm like not like right close to the home, but I'm not like extremely far. Like that's how it comes across. But I don't feel like I'm, but I get like a weird feeling that I wonder if they're gonna find him, because I mean look how Gannon was found. Like it's almost like I wonder if a similar situation is gonna come across as far as him being, if he's found.
Right.
Because the water is like really strong. So I wonder if she just put him in water or by like really close to water, but I really think in the way that I'm perceiving it. And I have different symbolisms for that, but all right. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing and sharing. We appreciate you. See you next time.